Good day and welcome to Giant Strides, your preferred program for all things power, energy and electricity in this great nation. This weekly program is proudly sponsored by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, NDPHC, under the leadership of Engineer Jennifer Adigije. I'm your host, Jules AK, and it's a pleasure to have you join us today. On this episode, we take a close look at the recent milestone achieved in the energy and power sector by highlighting another key intervention championed by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company by adding 6 megawatts to the national grid. This means that even greater strides are being taken towards lighting up the nation by adding more to its already increasing power generation capacity, which will empower both students and staff alike. But before we delve into the details of today's program, let us reveal the winner of last week's cash prize. And the winner is Esther Olugbemi. Well done to you for taking time out to answer the question and getting your family and friends to like your post. We will reach out to you on our Facebook platform to ensure that you receive your cash prize. Better luck next time to everyone who made an attempt. Now, kindly listen to get the trivia question for the week. It says, who is the chairman of the board of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company? Remember, to stand a chance at winning, ensure that you follow the rules as stated. Head over to our social media platforms and type in the correct answer to the trivia question. Whilst you're on there, be sure to follow us, and once you're done, get your family and friends to like your own comment. By next week, the follower with the correct answer and the most likes wins, and we shall proceed to announce the winner of the prize on the show. And now, let's get straight into the business of today.
The Executive Governor of Borno State.
In the heart of Maiduguri, Borno State, a new beacon of progress emerges. Vice President Kashim Shettima arrives at Borno State University not just to visit, but to power up progress. The Vice President inaugurates a 6 megawatt power station at the Borno State University, which is a key milestone in the administration's mission to directly tackle Nigeria's power infrastructure deficit. He affirms the President Bola Tinubu's administration's commitment to addressing the nation's power infrastructure challenges 1 megawatt at a time.
My singular honor and of the Niger Power
Accompanied by Governor Babagana Zulum, the Vice President inspects the injection and transmission station, which is a critical infrastructure developed to transform electricity supply within the campus and its environs.
Executed by Niger Delta Holding Company. It is not a coincidence that this is the second distribution project that will be commissioning in Borno State, and we expect to commission 2 more before the end of the year. This is an affirmation of our commitment to supporting Mr. President's new agenda. It also underscores our commitment to supporting the Borno State government and saying universal access to electricity. Because at NDPHC is in accordance with our mandate, which is to scale power generation with the associated transmission and distribution and quality, reliable and uninterruptible electricity last mile. So here we have successfully executed a 7.5 MVA substation, and the project scope entails the installation and supply of the 7.5 MVA transformer and the auxiliaries, which are situated outdoors. But here indoors, what we have the indoor panels, the 11 kV incoming panel, and two 11 kV outgoing panels tied to the two 11 kV feeders feeding the university and the environment.
The Vice President's message was clear as he stated that the current administration is proving the doubters wrong, stating that off-grid and on-grid interventions are not just promises, they are action. He also reiterated that the government is committed to delivering sustainable power from the center of the cities to the last man in the most remote communities.
The power holding company is living up to the expectations of our people and the dynamic leadership of the millennials. So I want to thank them for providing access to power for the Borno State University and its neighboring communities. It will certainly impact positively on their output because power is life, life is power. Thank you so much.
Governor Babagana Zulum, whilst expressing deep appreciation for the intervention of the federal government, also seized the opportunity to urge same to continue in the trajectory of providing the much-needed support. He expressed that power is the backbone of development and that Borno State is ready to do more.
Really affecting access to power supply, and we are glad to have a number of 7.5 MVA injection substations in Borno, and indeed this will increase the quality of power supply to Maiduguri metropolitan and in the environs. You can see this substation will ensure access of quality power supply to the University of Borno State University, our ongoing teaching hospital which is under construction, and indeed to many communities in Borno State. We remain eternally grateful to the Niger Delta Power Company for all the support that they have been rendering towards ensuring affordable and quality energy supply to the citizens of Nigeria.
The project, executed by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, NDPHC, is a collaborative effort involving state and federal agencies, showing that partnership delivers results.
As part of our intervention project, NDPHC as a company, we embarked on this type of projects because the overall value chain from generation, transmission to the distribution, without the distribution, whatever you generate, it cannot be evacuated and it cannot be distributed. So we at NDPHC, we identify critical projects of this magnitude at the distribution side, which is the downstream side, and invest into distribution infrastructure towards evacuating the generation from the upstream. And that is why we are here. As you can see, the project is 7.5 MVA transformer, 1 by 7.5, with 3.3 kilometers of 33 kV feeder, 2.5 kilometers of 11 kV feeder, and 2.5 kilometers of the LT, which is 0.415 volts. So as we speak, an addition to this Borno State University is at the tune of 6 megawatts. If you convert the 7.5 MVA to megawatts, you are having 6 megawatts. And that means you can evacuate 6 megawatts successfully from this 7.5 MVA. In addition to that, there is a dedicated feeder which is going to the university and the other one feeding the commercial and the industrial clusters within the environment. In addition to that, there is also 3 500 kVA transformers, 11 400 kV transformers. So they are there, 2 of them in the university and 1 of them in the community. And that is part of the intervention project of us at NDPHC, because we key into the transformation agenda under the mandate of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is our mandate to ensure that this project has been executed towards meeting the supply reliability and efficiency to Nigerians. Because of the route length of the feeder, the 33 kV feeder feeding this station is Benishek 33 kV feeder, which is emanating from transmission station, Baga Road. But because of the distance, there are a lot of voltage drops and poor quality of supply. So with this project, it means the university community and the environment will have stability in supply, will ensure that they make use of their appliances, they enjoy the services, quality of supply within the domain.
Fully present on site, the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, Engineer Jennifer Adigije, stated that the project reflects the company's dedication to bringing energy solutions closer to the people. With Engineer Adigije was Bello Babayo, NDPHC's Executive Director Networks, as well as the Managing Director for the Yola Electricity Company, Abdul Rahman Isa. Each had an opportunity to share their thoughts and agreed that the station was built with modern infrastructure to ensure stable and scalable power delivery.
We're here to commission and hand over a special intervention distribution project to the distribution company that would operate the asset. This is a 7.5 MVA injection distribution substation. As you know, the mandate of the NDPHC is clear, and we're not losing sight of this mandate, which is to scale power generation with the associated transmission and distribution infrastructure networks, bridging infrastructure, energy infrastructure gaps, and enabling quality, reliable, and uninterruptible electricity to be delivered to the last mile. So this is our affirmation. This is the affirmation of our commitment to Mr. President's renewed hope agenda priority of energy inclusion, which also seeks to enhance universal access to electricity. So we're here to contribute this to vulnerable communities here in Borno State. And in spite of the liquidity challenges that we're having in the sector, we've been able to build coping mechanisms that ensure that we can very prudently dedicate resources to intervention projects like this that would actually uplift communities, touch lives, and continue to advance our productivity and prosperity in line with Mr. President's renewed hope agenda.
This is one of our projects, which is intervention project of Niger Delta Power Holding Company. This is the scope of the project is 1 by 7.5 MVA and 33/11. Then we have 3 kilometers of 33 kV line constructed, which is at the other side. Then we have 2.5 kilometers of 11 kV also constructed, and the 2.5, one of them is a dedicated line feeding the university community, while the other one is feeding the outside community environs. In addition to that, we have 500 kVA distribution transformers. Like we keep on saying, if you keep on generating, but the generation is not going down to the distribution, then the whole value chain is not closed. But with this intervention of NDPHC, we do a lot of distribution injection substation projects. The university community in specific will now enjoy quality, reliable, and efficient supply within the university community and also the environment. A lot of industrial and commercial clusters that are sited within this environment will definitely benefit from this remarkable project which has been executed by NDPHC. So there are more of these projects on the way to come, and it's part of our mandate to deliver at the distribution side. Like I said, the 3 value chains cannot be closed if the evacuation corridor, which is at the distribution side, is not captured. 6 megawatt is what we are expected to evacuate from a 7.5 MVA power transformer.
So here we witnessed the commissioning of a 7.5 injection substation that will impact on the communities around here. First of all, it will impact on the university, accommodate their expansion, improve the power quality and quantity. It will also impact on the immediate community of the university, which is the communities around and the housing estates along the road up to Auno and towards Benishek. All this will improve the power quality, the quantity, and improve quality of service to our numerous customers. NDPHC has been our development partners. They've impacted a lot on the electricity industry in terms of providing generation, transmission, and distribution infrastructure on which we ride on to deliver service to our customers. Just a few months ago, we've commissioned a similar one here in Borno at College of Agric that also had a lot of impact, and many more within our franchise and even within the country at large. So our message is to thank NDPHC and to also encourage them to do more, especially in the Northeast, in improving in the investments in transmission infrastructure and also in the distribution infrastructure. And also if they can go into renewable energy, since we're endowed here with sun and other natural resources, that they can also bridge the gap and provide more quality infrastructures for quality service delivery.
It is hoped that with the addition, there will be an improvement in electricity access, thereby reducing outage in the state. Still on today's episode, we take a look at the just concluded National Council on Power, NACOP, which hosted its 6th edition in Maiduguri, Borno State, where key players in Nigeria's power sector gathered to chart a new path towards energy access for all. The panel discussions at this event showcased a need for sustainable revenue and funding in order to achieve goals to light up Nigeria one community at a time. Day 2 of the National Council on Power, or NACOP 2025, was just as powerful as the preceding day. The Minister of Power emphasized the Council's vital role in ensuring a smooth operation from generation and transmission to rural electrification and policy consistency. NACOP serves as a platform for reviewing ongoing reforms aligning with the renewed hope agenda of the President and charting a clear path forward for the sector. Discussions at the event covered everything from policy frameworks and infrastructure development to renewable energy integration and private sector participation.
On your books, and you still manage to come to...
A significant highlight of NACOP 2025 was the impactful presence and presentation by the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, NDPHC, Engineer Jennifer Adigije. She addressed key stakeholders, shedding light on the critical role NDPHC plays in Nigeria's power generation and transmission sphere. Other top officials in attendance included leaders from the Rural Electrification Agency, Transmission Company of Nigeria, NERC, and representatives of all 36 states. These stakeholder engagements brought NACOP 2025 beyond discussions about policy by pointing directly towards implementation.
Let me mention that liquidity and cash flow is a lifeline of any business. Beyond NDPHC operating like an NDA, we're actually incorporated under CAMA as a private limited liability company, and therefore we are accountable to our shareholders. This liquidity crisis is real, and she laid a solid foundation yesterday when she mentioned the 4 trillion figure. And somebody behind me who didn't know I was the MD of NDPHC said, this figure that Gencos are claiming, is it real? And the truth is that it's actually real, and that's because a lot of pass-through costs are actually included in that figure. For instance, the gas costs. For us, the gas-fired Gencos, we are the worst hit because you know gas is not cheap. Gas is priced in US dollars at over $2.4 per MMBTU. And for me to run a generating unit, I need 25 million scoop of gas per day. Times that figure, you can have an idea, do the math and have an idea of how much we spend on gas alone. In addition to gas, we also have O&M costs. Most of these our units were built by All of our units actually were built by OEMs, world-class OEMs like GE and Siemens, and the service agreements and service contracts are priced in US dollars. They are fixed fees, they are variable fees, all priced in US dollars. So for the revenue that we earn, I dare say that a significant portion of it, over 80% of that revenue actually goes to gas and O&M costs. And so when you have a system whereby your invoices are not settled fully, where your invoices are settled in a paltry rate of about 30%. But let me use this opportunity to also appreciate the Honorable Minister of Dr. Adebayo Adeba, because I think he really deserves a round of applause. He really deserves a round of applause, because with the introduction of the Band A system, and the Band A accounts for only 15% of the market. Now, what that did was to increase the market liquidity by 70%, from 1 trillion to 1.7 trillion. And before then, our invoice settlement rate was about 10%. I think he will speak more to that. But by April last year, with the introduction of the banding system, we were able to move up, ramp up actually, from about 10% to about 30%, which we're having now. And we're hoping that eventually and someday, if the cost-reflective tariff and all other mechanisms are put in place for us to recover our revenue optimally, then we would be able to get settled fully on our invoices.
One of the major panel discussions, titled Maintaining Liquidity for the Sustainability of Generation Companies, also featured Engineer Jennifer Adigije, the MD CEO of the NDPHC, alongside other key industry figures. This conversation was a major convergence point for key stakeholders in Nigeria's power landscape. In her remarks, Engineer Adigije highlighted the critical policy gaps, infrastructure deficits, and funding challenges that currently hamper Nigeria's power generation landscape. She emphasized that without reliable funding and operational reforms, generation companies cannot execute their full potential.
We all know the source of the debts, and the reason why, based on the tariff shortfalls, based on the market shortfalls. But I want to once again commend Mr. President now at this point, because now we have a president who understands the deep-rooted issues and also has the boldness, the courage, and the will to effect change by ensuring that we're able to have the right legislative foundations, policy foundations, and the necessary foundations that we need to be able to survive in the market. As you know, Mr. President prevailed on the National Assembly to pass the Electricity Act. And what that Electricity Act has done for us now is that the sector is decentralized and liberalized. And also the regulator very graciously on the 25th of July last year mandated us to transition to bilateral trading. And so what that means now, we have essentially a free market system where we can transact bilaterally with willing buyers and willing sellers, like the Borno State government, for instance, and eligible customers and off-takers that meet the requirements and meet off-take thresholds. We can go into business with them, and now we can also be able to diversify our revenues. We don't need to rely solely on the bulk trader who doesn't settle invoices fully. And when we go into such agreements and power purchase agreements with such customers, we've developed an internal mechanism whereby those agreements are firm. And so there's no opportunity for any party to default in that agreement, because the agreements are backed by firm bank guarantees that would ensure that our transactions with those bilateral customers are cash-backed and are securitized.
For students and staff of Borno State University, this is more than just electricity. It is empowerment, security, and a brighter tomorrow. From promise to power, this Tinubu-led administration continues its mission to light up Nigeria. It sends a hopeful message to every corner of the country that no community in Nigeria will be left in the dark, as where there is power, there is progress. And so, That's it for today's episode on Giant Strides, your weekly program proudly powered by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited. Don't forget to head over to our social media platforms to answer the trivia question for the week and stand a chance to win big. And until next time, I'm your host, Jules AK. Thank you for joining us.